One of the hottest products this year is the new Olympus camera. The Pen E-P1 uses micro four thirds technology, allowing the use of smaller internals and a smaller lens. It's a fusion between new technologies and a return to old camera heritage, and you can see this in the looks. This product is commonly kitted out with the 14 to 42mm lens. However, we have got the rarer kit today, which includes the new 17mm 2.8 aperture pancake in matching silver colour and the optical viewfinder that matches the lens. With this lens attached, you can almost call it pocketable, and although it isn't technically a digital SLR, it's equipped with all the bells and whistles of a standard size digital. In fact, it shares tons of features with Olympus's own digital SLRs, such as built-in high-performance image stabilizer, art filters, multi-exposure capability, and of course, interchangeable lenses. With an optional adapter, you can use old OM lenses. Not unlike the Olympus DSLR cameras, the Pen is pretty easy to use and customise. Unlike the user interfaces of some other models, it isn't rocket science. It all makes for a stress-free digital photography experience, even point and shoot when you want it to be. But then when you fancy a fiddle, this little camera operates with all the capabilities of a digital single lens reflex camera, but with the advantage of its compact size. This may be super convenient, but it's not always super functional. The 3-inch LCD is a nice size, but it's not the high resolution that can be found on other similar priced digital SLRs, like the Nikon D90. Unless you have the same kit we have with the handy viewfinder, you are totally dependent on the screen for framing your shots. The on-screen info has a nice trick to it, with a levelling feature that shows you whether the camera is straight or not. Unfortunately, if you're on this screen, you can't find the aperture and the shutter speed being used, so you end up needing to get the settings right, then switching to the levelling display. I like this feature a lot, and I'd rather have it than not. It just would have been nice for Olympus to also add the other vital information into that display. Although we really like the viewfinder and the idea of it, we're not totally convinced it's exactly representing the picture taken by this lens. If I want perfect framing, it's better to use the LCD, but for anything quick, it's great, and although slightly novelty, it adds to the overall experience and pleasure of using such a retro-designed camera. We played with both the 17mm shown here and the 14 to 42mm lens, the only two specifically designed by Olympus for the micro four thirds format. What is instantly noticeable is that the 17 has a much quicker autofocus and really low levels of distortion, which is something you would expect of a normal range prime lens. It's also quite sharp wide open, and it gets to its optimum around f5.6. CA is probably the only thing that lets the side down. However, most of this is easily correctable in post-processing. The manual focus can be tricky if you have big hands, but a pancake lens is all about saving on size and weight. This is the first camera I've seen in a long time that doesn't have a built-in flash. For some people, I imagine this will be a turn-off. You can purchase compatible flashes separately, but it would have been nice to have something as standard. As with some recently released cameras, this one comes with HD video, albeit the 720p variety rather than the full 1080. It does so at 30 frames per second, up to a maximum recording time of 7 minutes, or 2 GB of space, whatever comes first. Olympus has also talked up the built-in microphone, which it claims is as good as any of its audio recording devices. So a thumbs up for not neglecting this area of the product with a cheap mic. As this isn't just for movies, you can also annotate your photos with some sound, a nice touch. Although better than most video on digital cameras, it's mainly for quick shots rather than the budding movie maker, so don't go thinking this is a replacement for an HD camcorder. Overall image quality is great, however there was a bit of a surprise. In the past, the Olympus digital SLR range has produced nice clean shots at low sensitivities, but at the higher ISO levels the noise characteristics have often been behind the competition. Olympus uses a new image processor called the TruePic 5, which seems to have cracked the issue, suppressing noise really well while maintaining good detail and colours. In fact, we reckon it now compares favourably to nearly all similarly priced offerings. A very positive aspect of this camera is its art filters. With the impressive magnitude of filters that come standard on your Pen E-P1, you are free to express your creativity. These 6 built-in filters can be used within the still and video imaging process. Filters like pop art, soft focus, pale and light colour, light tone, grainy film and pinhole are the striking effects that you're able to instantly preview on your LCD screen when using the Pen E-P1 in the live viewing mode or when you are reviewing your stills and video images. Also, with the use of the Pen E-P1's framing feature, you'll be provided with masks to assist you with the framing of your captured images. Change the proportions and the scale of your photos to sizes of your liking. When we first found out about the EP1, we thought it would be quite a niche camera, but if we look at the benefits, it's certainly got a large target audience. I'm sure many digital SLR users would love to have all that ability in something smaller, lighter and more convenient. This is where the EP1 comes in. We now know that it can cut it with the digital SLRs in terms of image quality and noise properties. It's also as full-featured as most. Drawbacks will be the lack of proper viewfinder, and the LCD could have done with a higher resolution. It's a new format, but there is not yet a full range of lenses that are small enough to make the camera lose that form. For some people, they will not be able to accept these compromises, whereas others will gladly accept them in order to travel light and take the camera out without having to think about logistics in the back of their mind. Apart from all that, it's undoubtedly a product that will turn heads regardless, so for the retro conscious, you will find it difficult to resist. Check out our channel page for more product reviews, as we'll be adding new hands-on videos regularly.